Welcome to Every Movie I've Ever Seen. This is a special Flashback February edition where throughout the month of February I'm going to be watching movies on the anniversary of when they were released. Now the movie that I'm going to be talking about today is Friday the 13th. This is the 2009 remake, I think, of Friday the 13th. It came out February 13th. I want to say it was Friday, probably. I wouldn't know. I didn't actually see it in theaters, and I didn't look up to see what day of the week it actually came out on. But I wasn't even planning on doing this movie. I was gonna have a movie up yesterday. I had a plan of what movies I'm gonna be doing throughout February, so I can try and knock them out as quick as possible. And I thought I was doing a different movie yesterday, so I was all getting ready to do that movie. And then I found out, like, oh no, I was supposed to do Deadpool yesterday, and I wasn't ready to do Deadpool yesterday, so I didn't get around to doing that. So I figured I would make up for it by putting out a movie today, and I could at least talk about this movie. This is, like I mentioned, it's the reboot or remake or whatever of Friday the 13th. This is the only Friday the 13th movie I've ever even seen, which I feel like might be blasphemous to some people. I haven't seen the original one or any of the other ones. I don't think the franchise is, well, from what I've heard, the franchise isn't all that great. There's not a lot of good in there. But there was like a brief little stint or whatever where I decided to watch a couple reboots of horror franchises that I've never seen. So I watched this movie. I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street that came out in 2010, and I watched the Texas Chainsaw 3D that came out in 2013. It's the second most recent Texas Chainsaw movie. There was just, I believe there was a movie just called Leatherface that came out in 2017, and then I believe they're making like a Leatherface 2, maybe. I don't know. So I saw all those movies just for the heck of it, and I think the Texas Chainsaw one was honestly my favorite. The Nightmare on Elm Street was okay. The twist is extremely dumb. But this one, Friday the 13th, was definitely my least favorite. I don't even remember it all that much, just that it wasn't very good, and I didn't really care for it. I really don't see what the appeal is when it comes to Friday the 13th, and it's like Jason. He just seems like Michael with the hockey mask and a machete. That's all. That's all I'm getting. I mean, I've seen Halloween. I've seen the first two Halloween movies, and I've seen the first Rob Zombie remake, and I've seen the Halloween that came out in 2018. So I haven't seen every Halloween movie, but I've seen, as far as I'm concerned, enough of them. But I don't see the point of Jason. I mean, is it just that he just, kills campers that have sex? Is that his whole thing? I mean, is that it? Why is... And it's not even Jason in the first one. It's his mother in the first one, which at least that's a somewhat interesting story. It's his mother trying to get revenge for, neglectful campers who let her deformed child drown. I mean, that's, a story. My perception of all the other Jason movies are just, Jason kills people. And this one, he's in space. So, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street movies or Texas Chainsaw movies. Texas Chainsaw really just looks like inbred dude with chainsaw. At least that's something. Chainsaw can be a little bit more interesting than just machete or kitchen knife. I mean, machete is hardly that far off from kitchen knife. Nightmare on Elm Street is the one that seems interesting because it's not just silent dude slowly stalking after victims with sharp-edged thing. There's the dream aspect of it, and I believe it becomes more comedic as the movies go on. And I heard Wes Craven's new Nightmare is supposed to be really, really good. I kind of at some point plan on watching the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I have no plan on ever watching the Friday the 13th or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. They didn't really thrill me all that much, and like I said, I just don't remember all that much about this Friday the 13th. The only thing I really know is I believe the main character from the TV show Superstore was in this. He kind of looks like, I don't know. And the other guy, the lesser half of Supernatural, was also in this. I believe he was more of a main character. The guy from Superstore died early. He was like a frat boy type character to get killed off in the beginning. But I feel like they spent a lot of time with those characters. So it was odd. It was like a cold open that went on for like 20 minutes. And that seemed really, really weird. But yeah, I don't remember a lot. I know there's like a blonde girl, and she's dating some asshole, and the lesser half of Supernatural is like, you know, interested in her, and her boyfriend's an asshole, and I don't remember. Do they find his basement that he lives in or something? Like Jason lives in a basement. I assume it's still Jason. I don't think they did. I don't think they made it Mrs. Voorhees or Ms. Voorhees. I don't know if she's still married or not. Do they address that in the movies, her marital status? Does she have a maiden name? It's like a basement or like some like underground bunker that they live in. I remember the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie a little bit more. And the Friday the 13th, of course. The Friday the 13th has that stupid twist where, like, ooh, surprise twist, Freddy was a bad guy the entire time. But, like, yeah, he was a bad guy in the other movies. It's like they had a twist. Like, they had a twist and were like, oh no, he was framed. He didn't really kill all those kids. Or, you know, he didn't... No, they accused him of molesting kids, I believe. So the twist was that he was framed and he didn't actually molest the kids. But then at the end of the movie, there's a plot twist that he actually did molest the kids. So that's the real plot twist, because you make you think that he didn't, that he was framed. So like the plot twist is that he was a bad guy the whole time, even though in the beginning of the movie he's a bad guy. So, I don't know. And then, Texas Chainsaw, I don't think it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it's just Texas Chainsaw 3D, which is a dumb title. It's like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's pretty, you know, you get the picture there. Like, people in Texas are going to get killed by a chainsaw. A lot of people in Texas are going to get killed by a chainsaw. You get rid of the massacre aspect of it. It's just like Texas Chainsaw. It's about a chainsaw in Texas. Whatever. I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's Alexandra Daddario, and she's like returning to the place where her family is from, I think. And she meets Leatherface dude. He has a name. I don't remember what his name was. But, well, she doesn't meet him yet. But she kind of like finds out that she's part of this inbred family that lives in Texas. And they got a bad history because, you know, the one guy chainsawed a bunch of people. And eventually she finds out that he's her cousin. And they like team up to kill a bad cop character or something. So I remember significantly more about both those movies than I do Friday the 13th. So I guess maybe that's just an indicator that Friday the 13th, it wasn't all that good. I remember very little about it. But, yeah. That's all I've got to say about Friday the 13th.